Next one I got, and I knew they were gonna make a sequel to this. I did not know they were gonna make a part 3, and it's Hostel Part 3. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this one. This one, it's not as good as the first. I like the first one. The first one the best. Second one was just a little too much. I liked the second, but it was a little too gory. You know, you know, but this one's pretty good. I actually like this one. It wasn't that bad. It's very different from the originals, and it's like, you know, it's pretty good for what it was, you know, and it's basically about a few friends throw a bachelor party for one of the friends, and they go to Vegas and crazy shit happens. I definitely check this out if you haven't seen it, and it's very different and not as good as the first Hostel, but you know, still very good. The second Hostel was just too much for me. I didn't care for that one too much, but definitely check this out and the first Hostel. Really cool movies. Next one I got is, and I love this. This one was a pretty good movie. It was pretty decent, and it's I Love You, Beth Cooper with Hayden Panettiere, and my friend Mark really likes Hayden Panettiere. I like her stuff too. This is probably one of my favorite things she's ever done. Definitely check this movie out. It's not the funniest movie, you know. I wouldn't say I like my favorite movie that she appeared. My favorite movie that she appeared in was Scream 4, but this is a good movie. I definitely check this out. It's really funny. It's basically about a geek is graduating high school, and he's in love with Beth Cooper. So at graduation he says, "I love you, Beth Cooper." And they start to they start to like fall in love. It's just and they go through crazy shit with their ex-boyfriend. It's definitely worth checking out. Definitely check this out. It's really funny. Not the funniest movie. It's pretty decent. It's kind of strange at parts, but it's worth seeing. Definitely check that out. Next one I got is the Midnight Meat Train by Clive Barker, and this was pretty good. Not the best movie. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the CGI in it was terrible. Like some of the CGI in it, I'm not crazy about CGI. I like the original, you know, way of, like, you know, gore. I like the original classic 80s movies with, you know, cheesy gore effects. I'm not a big fan of CGI. It depends on the movie, but it's worth checking out. It's worth seeing. I thought it was pretty good, you know. Just I like CGI up to, like, you know, a limit. Like it has to like look good, but in this movie, one scene in it looked shit. Like, you know, with Sam Raimi's death. I thought that was a terrible death, not Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi. Ted Raimi, I thought he was, and I met him. He's a really nice guy, and I wish his death would have been better, you know, in it. But the movie itself was pretty good. The other deaths were. It's one of the goriest ones I've ever seen. It's definitely worth checking out. Definitely just check this movie out. It's not the best movie, but it's not the worst. It's worth seeing. It's okay. I don't know. Next one I got is, and I really hated this movie, Drag Me to Hell. I shut this shit off like 45 minutes into the movie. I did not like this movie. This is a terrible movie, and it's directed by my favorite director, Sam Raimi, which he directed Evil Dead, which you probably all know is my favorite horror film. He directed this. I didn't like this. This was a terrible movie. Don't check this out. I don't know. It just didn't agree to me. Next one I got, and this is not really a known Stephen King movie, but it's pretty good. It's not a known Stephen King movie, but it's pretty good, and it's thinner. And I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's his best work, but it's pretty good. I would check this out. It's not my favorite Stephen King, but it's worth checking out. It's about a 109-year-old gypsy curses him, a fat man, and makes him skinnier and skinnier, and it's just crazy. It's crazy stuff goes on in this. It's just it's not the best movie, but you know, it's not a great movie, but you know, it's pretty decent. You know, kind of cheesy and corny at parts, but it's worth checking out. I actually found some enjoyment in it. Definitely check it out. Next one I got is Bum 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 Bum. Bum bum bum. May I have your attention, please? Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Bum bum. The Real Slim Shady Show. And this is a show that was on TV. It was on MTV, I think it was, and it's a really good show. If you like Eminem and his music and shit, definitely check this out. It's some really funny episodes in this. Definitely check this out. If you haven't seen that. Next one I got, and this is one of Eddie Murphy's best movies in my opinion, and I love this movie, and it's a classic, you all know it, Coming to America. And it's just a really funny movie. I definitely check this out. I got this at Target for $5, really cheap, like $5 at Target. It's a really good movie. I definitely check this out. It's about a prince that comes all the way to America to find his true love, and it's really funny. Arsenio Hall's in it. You got James Earl Jones in it, who is, Darth Vader. You all know that. And definitely check this out. It's really funny. I don't need to get too much into it. It's a classic. You all have seen it. I wish Eddie Murphy would do more films like this. Lately his films haven't been too well. Like his new comedies haven't been so well. Like Tower Heist, I didn't really care for that. But I love his. I wish he would do more. I love his old stuff. You definitely check this out if you haven't seen it. It's a classic. I wish he would go back and do more, like more of the more stuff, like Coming to America. Like his older stuff, I like better. But definitely check out Coming to America if you haven't seen that. Next one I got is a Kevin Smith film, Chasing Amy, and this was pretty. It was okay, except they say Jay and Silent Bob are in it. They were only in it for one scene. They were funny in it, but they were only in one scene, in the diner scene. And this is a love story. It's pretty funny, and we got Ben Affleck, Jason Lee. So it's not Kevin Smith's best film, but I like Clerks. I like Clerks is my favorite Kevin Smith film, but this one's pretty decent. I like Clerks better. I like Clerks is my favorite. Then my second favorite would probably be like Clerks 2, then Mallrats, then Jay and Silent Bob. I like all those. This one was I love those movies. This one was okay. I didn't care for this too much. It was alright. I just wish I showed Jay and Silent Bob in it more. And Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That's another good one I like as well. But check out Chasing Amy. It's not the best, but it's, I don't know, I didn't care for it as much. Next one I got is The Sitter, starring Jonah Hill, and I thought this movie was okay. It wasn't the funniest, but it's a pretty good movie. I would check it out. I'll go to a 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't want to. I was gonna get. People are gonna ask me why do you have it on DVD. I was gonna get it on Blu-ray at Target, but it was $30. I didn't need to pay $30 for this movie. It wasn't that great, but it's worth checking out. It's pretty funny. It's not the funniest Jonah Hill. I think Jonah Hill did funnier movies. I love Jonah Hill's movies. This one was okay. I thought it was pretty funny. It's basically about a babysitter. It has a crazy girlfriend who does a lot of coke and stuff, and has to babysit these 3 kids because he's running out of a job, and they go through all this crazy shit. It's pretty funny. It's worth checking out, but it's not the funniest film. I've seen better Jonah Hill movies. It's not the best.